Happy New Year's YouTube, Yu-Gi-Oh! Blaze here with a new deck profile for you guys. Today I'll be doing a deck profile on my Dark World deck. On my last video that I did, I talked about this deck a lot, so I decided why not make a deck profile on it, so yeah. So why don't we go ahead and get started. This is the basic Turbo Dark World build, so yeah. Same as most Dark World builds. Obviously, no matter what type of Dark World you're running, you're always playing 3 Grapha. That's just a staple for all Dark World decks. You need the 3 Grapha. It's usually 3,000 when it's discarded, destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field, so that's just great. So, yeah. Triple Snow, when she's discarded, search out any Dark World card from your deck to your hand, so that includes spell cards. So you can search out the field spell or Dark World dealings. Triple Brow, when he's discarded, draw a card, plain and simple. So yeah, that makes your deck a lot faster. One Beige, I run Beige over Silva, because Silva and Gold, because Beige is a level 4, and sometimes I've been in a situation where I needed something on my field and I had only Gold in my hand, and you know, he's level 5, I believe, so I couldn't do anything about it. So I play Beige now because I could just normal summon him, bounce him back to my hand, and bring out Grapha. So, yeah, Beige is just better than Gold. The next card, a staple for most decks, 2 Tour Guides. That's a staple for pretty much any deck, really. So, yeah. So, basically, with Tour Guides, summon her. Either play another Tour Guide or go into a Brow. So yeah, and then just succeed summon or do whatever you have to do. Sometimes I'll bounce the Brow back into my hand and just summon Grapha right there. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. That is about 12 monsters right there. Next, the spells. Triple field spell, obviously. It boosts all your fiends in the deck by 300 attack points, so that turns Grapha into 3,000, Snow into 2,000. At times you'll use Tour Guide, so Tour Guide into 1,300s. But yeah, usually you just use it for Grapha, and you know that just turns Grapha into a major beat stick right there. So yeah, also with this card, you could just banish 1 card in your graveyard and then discard something and then draw a card, and plus when you discard, you'll get the effect of whatever Dark World you just discarded. So that's just amazing. Triple dealings, good for drawing cards quickly. Draw 1, discard 1. That's just amazing. You get a free card and you get to discard a card, so that's just 2 pluses right there. Drag down into the grave. This is just so good. I use this with Mind Crush all the time. Basically, I will look at my opponent's hand, see what they got, and then discard something, and then whatever they have left, I will just Mind Crush it. So that's just so great. Plus, after you discard something from your hand and your opponent's, you each get to draw a card, so that's just so good. Yeah. Upstart, it doesn't matter if your opponent gets a free 1,000 life points. Grapha will get rid of that 1,000 like that, so upstarts. Card destruction, so you know, good for getting rid of the Dark Worlds, and then drawing that. I've had times where I had 3 Graphas in my hand and I card destruction, and then I just, you know, got rid of my opponent's field and then drew 3 more cards, so that's really good. Allure of Darkness, because every monster in this deck is a dark monster, so Allure. And then the next set is just staples: Monster Born, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and 2 MSTs. So that is it for the spell cards. I believe that's like over 20 spell cards. So yeah. Next we move on to the trap cards. Deck Devastation. First of all, before I go into it, thumbs up for the red. I colored that myself. Thumbs up if you like it. But anyway, yeah, Deck Devastation, just drop one of your Graphas and just screw up your opponent for the next 3 turns. This card wins games, like, all the time. Once you play this card, you're safe for 3 straight turns. So, yeah, just this is such a staple in any Dark World deck. So yeah, it's a good card. Triple Reckless Greed. Good for drawing cards. Also, just so you know, they don't stack up. I've had people try to rule shark me about that. Basically, I once activated all 3 at the same time, drew 6 cards, and then the dude's like, oh, now you can't draw for the next 6 turns, and I'm like, no, they don't add up. So that's really good. You could play more than one at a time, and then you'll only have to wait 2 turns. But it doesn't really matter because you draw so quickly in this deck. So yeah, Reckless is just so good with the Dark Worlds. Double Mind Crush, mostly because it's semi-limited. Basically, if you play Drag Down, you'll already know what they have. So make them lose a card with Drag Down, and then play Mind Crush, make them lose another card. That is just so good. And even if you didn't play Drag Down before, and you call the card wrong, you still get to discard one. That's just so good. Sometimes I'll play Mind Crush and purposely call it wrong, just so I could discard. So Mind Crush is just so good with this deck. And finally, the last 2 cards, Torrential Tributes. Pretty much staples for any deck, no matter what you're running. It doesn't really matter if our field gets nuked. It's so easy to bring back Grapha in this deck. So yeah, Torrential Tribute, that's just really good with this. So I hope you like the deck. Thanks for watching, and Happy New Year.